Here we are. We're back together again for once. I don't know. I don't even remember the last review we did together.
It's a wonderful knife. I remember because I sang and danced in my Tiffany wig.
Oh, okay. There, yeah. Okay. Well, here we are. We're with another Veer Street review. Sheree and Trent back at it again.
We do know each other. I told y'all. I told y'all. Um, so yeah,
We're not
welcome
just
to a
voices. We're also heads.
listen and shoulders, no knees or toes. Welcome to another Fear Street review. We're here to talk to you about Never Let Go, the new Halle Berry horror movie. And by new, I mean last year. We're not that late though. Shh, shh. It's
Oh,
beautiful. The Blu-ray has extras. If you dug the movie, you want to get into that.
yes, truly. And you know us. We're gonna try not to get into spoilers, but if we do, we're sorry. You can pause now, go watch the movie, then come back if you want to. But we're gonna do our best to not do spoilers.
Listen, because it's a mysterious movie, and if you've not seen it yet, you should. She's on VOD and also on the Blu-ray, and we don't know when she'll be streaming, but probably soon because she's been out for a hot minute. But now that I'm done plugging that, let's get into the synopsis. When an unspeakable evil takes over the world, the only protection for a mother and her twin sons is their house and strong bond. Needing to stay connected at all times, even tethering themselves with ropes, they must cling to one another and never let go. Love when they use the title. However, when one of the boys questions if the evil is real, the ties that bind them together are severed, triggering a terrifying fight for survival. I'm looking for new work.
You're gonna be that new. You remember the dude from like all the '90s?
Right.
Co-
That's gonna be me.
in
In a
a
world where
world.
space is gone.
What
In
will
a
happen
world
next?
where money doesn't mean anything. I'm yes, I don't have an agent, so you can just find me and Venmo me whatever you want me to do. I'm open. Like, but our actual thoughts on this. Our actual thoughts on Never Let Go, Halle Berry's return to horror, because we've not seen her in a hot minute in the genre.
Since
Um,
Gothica?
I think she did a couple thrillers after that. Because didn't The Call come
Okay.
after the one with the wig?
Yes.
Speaking of wigs, I know she's going through stuff for this movie, but the wigs are better than some of the wigs we've seen her in. Looking specifically at what they did to her as an X-Men, because why was Storm's wig doing all that? So even though Mama got some trauma, I can forgive these wigs after what we've seen them do to her. I feel like the pair people are just like, how dare you be fucking hot? We're gonna try to knock it down a little bit, but she's still Halle Berry. She's still a 10. She's a 10 in
Truly.
a bad wig. We're looking at you if you put it on her. Look.
Right. And I will say, Halle Berry and the two little boys, Percy Daggs and Anthony B. Jenkins, are the biggest highlight of this movie. They are all three incredible actors, and save this movie from what it could have been if it wasn't for them.
Listen, the acting is a 10. I also want to send a shout out to William Catlett, who we just saw in Abigail, because I'm like, I want more time with this man. He's like, I'm a Halle Berry. And I'm like, what? Get it. And so, like, again, the acting is a fucking 10. If nothing else, that's a 10. The rest of the movie, we're going to talk about. But, like, if you wanted some great acting, this is it. I also appreciate that Anthony B. Jenkins is fucking hustling because he did this in The Deliverance, and I'm not a fan of either movie, but that little boy can act, and I hope that his parents are getting him a better agent to help find some better options because again, he's fucking hustling. He's one of my favorite child actors, and you know, me and child actors don't get along because a lot of them are cashing on just being kids, and I'm like, that doesn't work for me. You need to have a talent or get off my screen. Like,
Yeah.
he's out here making the turns. He's out here being interesting and engaging and like learning his lines.
Yeah. So yes, another positive thing I will say about this movie is I did enjoy the setting. I thought the setting was really rich and fun and interesting. The house was cool. The little basement thing was cool. The woods were cool. So I liked the setting.
I
Now,
appreciate that. I appreciated the setting. I think the setting was interesting and we had more places to play. And in this Blu-ray that I am so grateful that they sent us, we have a documentary so you see how they made the house and you get some behind the scenes things and some deleted scenes. But While we're talking about the good, I appreciate simple stories that don't run with the CGI and the blowing this stuff up, because we don't need everything to end up being like
Mhm.
Avengers. Like sometimes we can get into those bonds and let people act with each other. Um, we, I mean, it's not out at the time of this recording, but we definitely just recorded our Nosferatu episode. And one of my biggest gripes is I wish they would just sometimes let the actors act with each other. um, and so I love that you have Halle Berry shaking the kids up and then responding to her and showing that they can like try and keep up with Mother, because like it's Halle Berry. So when you find two kids and that's her scene partners for most of the movie, they gotta fucking show the fuck up, and they do. And we wouldn't have known that had we been like, here's a bunch of CGI. Oh no, fake blood walls. And so it's really just those three selling fear and terror and like paranoia to each other, and us as the audience being like, we get it, we dig it. Thank you.
Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Now, to get into what I did not like about this movie is I called this movie in the first 10 minutes.
Yes.
This movie is so frustratingly obvious from the jump. It is just so clear, and it's not a spoiler, y'all, because you will also call it the first 10 minutes. So if that's your thing, but throughout the whole rest of the movie, I was like screaming, "Don't you like? Why can't you see this? Because it's so obvious, and it's so obvious. It's so frustrating."
Welcome to my world, because I predict so many movies. I have to sit there in silence. I saw this at Fantastic Fest and Halle Berry was present. That was a win, because she's again Mother. But it was also awkward because she produced this, and her and the director Alexander were trying to like talk to us about what they wanted it to be, because most of the audience did not get it, because it's the audience of critics for the most part. And so yeah, that was interesting. I feel like with a stronger script, we could have really done a thing here, because I am a person who was homeschooled from my mother, who also could have benefited from some help. And so like I see the legwork, but we don't really stick the landing. And the sad part is, because again, like we were saying, this is a really cool setup. This is a really cool set piece, this giant house and the ropes tethering them together. If it was a stronger script, this would be something that would like translate on the stage really excellently, and you could have both lives in both worlds. But because the script
Mm.
isn't completely fixed, I don't want to see it again. And I hate that, because there's so much here. There's so much metaphor. There's so much symbolism, and we just don't really stick the landing, and we don't try and make it interesting. It's kind of paint by the numbers, and that's why
Mhm.
it's frustrating and feels longer than it is.
Yeah, the script is the biggest problem here. Because I agree with you. This also was giving me like some religious extremism, some Christian extremism of her like, I used to be in the real world with sin, and now I'm starving you in the woods, and da 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 da. And so it's like, yes, that is what it's giving me, and I maybe that's another reason why I was having so many emotional frustrations with this movie. I was like, just leave, just leave.
And the thing with possible mental illness, possibly not mental illness, is that a lot of times it does manifest in those ways of people. And that's why we have so many
Mhm.
people who are lonely, who join cults. Like a lot of therapists will tell you that most of their clients need a friend. But they don't have support systems, so they come to therapy and they talk about things, so they have somebody to listen to them. And there's so much to unpack, and there's so much we could have and should have done with this movie, and we didn't do any of it. And I feel like this is something that would have excelled in like the 80s, because people they wanted more back then, but they weren't as loud about it. We couldn't get online and be like, what the fuck, this movie didn't try, this movie didn't go hard. And so they were more scattered. And now we're all like, oh, this is what you chose. Because this movie, again, it doesn't utilize what it's doing well or in an interesting and engaging new way. But like when they get to the end and they're trying to have their cake and eat it too, that's when I was like, come on now. This is too unforgivable now. Because at first we were at least doing a thing. Again, it could have been more interesting, could have been better, but we were doing a thing. And then to be like, yes, but no, but yes, maybe. And I was like, if you're gonna switch into a lane, just switch into the lane, commit, turn on the blinker, go, we'll follow you. If you want to leave it ambiguous,
Right.
leave it ambiguous. But like this back and forth, it's not helping anything that you almost did. So you're clear.
No. Yeah, no, the end did not help it at all. But I wholeheartedly agree. They should have picked a lane and stayed in it.
Mm-hmm. Listen,
Yeah.
but yeah, we got to see Halle Berry in the genre again. That's great. These other actors were paid, and they deserve to be fucking paid because again, the acting is. It's probably one of the best ensembles of last year. It's just in a bad movie, and so like it's hard to be like, go see it because it's if you want to see great acting, yes.
Yeah.
If you want anything else, no. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want a good story that's gonna keep you on the edge of your seat, it's in it. If you wanna see some good
Right.
scenes, acting between some if you wanna see some good kid actors, go watch this movie.
Listen, scene
Yeah.
work 10. I think people should also probably pull some monologues from this for auditions. You'll never be Halle Berry, but still, if you isolate some of these monologues, you fucking with a real story. When you put them back in the movie, you're not. Um, yeah,
Right. Right. Alright, Shrey. How many drinks we giving this one?
I'm giving it 2.5 picklebacks because I don't drink those, but it deserves that.
Nice. I'm gonna give this one 2 ranch waters because that's the most rural thing I can think of. Have you never had a ranch water? I've never had it, but I've seen people drink it.
It's not bringing up anything good in my mind, so I'm gonna Google it when we're
It's
done with this.
you do
What is
that.
it?
It's I think it's tequila, but I could be wrong. It's whatever the alcohol is, and then it's probably some other stuff, and then but the big thing is Topo Chico, so like seltzer water.
It doesn't sound as gross as I thought it was going to, if that's what it is, but we'll find out. Anyways, let us know if you agree
Yes.
with our assessment. Never let go in the comments. Also shout out to Lionsgate for giving us access to this review for review. And this beautiful Blu-ray with extras galore. And by galore, I mean like if you're really into it and you want to see those deleted scenes. Yeah. Um, yeah, no, we are an independent podcast. So if people don't give us stuff, we can't review a lot of it because money is a thing that we do not have. We do not know her. She does not know us.
Who is she? Yeah,
Listen, anybody. What?
could be. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching, and let us know if you agree or disagree. As always, make sure that you stay fierce out there.
Bye.